and welcome back to our channel. I'm Jennifer and this is Kate.
And today we are going to be unboxing Big Box of Books number 4, which is a little bit of an unusual box.
Yes, we got a call that this is a rescue box of books. The volunteers at the library took it in and they didn't know what to do with it. Evidently, there are some really old and unusual titles in here that they couldn't make heads or tails of. So we're going to check it out and investigate. Okay, so we're lifting the lid. Let's see what we've got. Yep, they definitely look very old.
They smell old.
They smell old.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
This could be a long video. The oldest story.
Okay.
Heroes and heroines for young people today. Bible stories, just like put into a novel format.
We're trying to determine, does the church library want to keep any of these books? So I think that we're going to have to check for mold very carefully because I already feel my nose itching. We might set aside some of these and investigate them, and at the end of the video come back and tell you more about them. The next one, oh dear,
falling apart.
It has a little issue here. God and Intelligence, but it is by Fulton Sheen. So I'll have to check and see if the church library has this one. This is an easy, mostly fix. We'll see if they want to keep it.
Yeah, Pius XII, the Angelic Shepherd. No other context.
Well, he was Pope during World War II and after. He did a lot of secret work behind the scenes in the Vatican during World War II to help rescue people. Yeah, maybe the church needs to keep this one. It looks like a good biography. The next one is called Loyalty by Farrell. I don't know. Oh. Somebody wrote notes. That's always fun to see a little bit of the previous owner's personality.
Prayer.
Stealing is a mortal sin when what you steal does serious damage to someone or society.
All right then.
Okay, so this
a quick reminder for all of us. So what this is, it's the autobiography of a hunted priest.
That sounds interesting. Who is the hunted priest? Probably someone in the Reformation in England, that would be my guess.
This is the autobiography of a Jesuit priest in Elizabethan England.
I was right. Autobiography. So he must have lived
through
the persecution. That one intrigues me. It's not in great shape, so books that aren't in good shape sometimes can't handle library life with people always checking them in and out. You'll have to decide what to do with that one. Next we have The Apostle, A Life of Paul. So,
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
Of illustrations.
I'm thinking that this is from the 1970s. Yes, 1978. I'm not really sure why this stumped the initial volunteers. It's just a 70s type of book, but it looks like it could be good. It looks like it's written in a novel form, The Life of Paul. This type of book generally can make the saint really come alive, so this might be worth really keeping in the library.
Lent. Just Lent.
Just Lent. And that's a big book of
That's
Lent.
a lot of Lent. Liturgical commentary on the lessons and gospels.
Okay,
this could be really good,
he wants to volunteer to be our test reader for this one. Damien the Leper, we have seen a copy of this before, and this is also in pretty sad condition. The last one was too. I don't think it would survive as a church library book, although John Farrow, his books are generally pretty good. This one also has some water damage, so probably passing on this one. Oh gosh, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Then we have another big one. Inside the Vatican, behind today's sensational headlines. Pontiff. All right then.
Who was it written by? Was it written by someone who was Catholic or someone?
It's by Gordon Thomas and Max Morgan Witz. They could be Catholic, and I would have no idea. The Vatican has remained one of the last unexamined mysteries of the modern world, is how the synopsis starts.
Okay then.
So this.
Yeah, we're going to investigate that, and at the end of the video, we'll let you know about this one.
There they are.
It could be really good. It could be an anti-Catholic rant. Okay, the humor and warmth of Pope John XXIII, now Saint John XXIII, his anecdotes and legends. Oh boy, I have to read this. I really like John XXIII, and he had a sense of humor. And so if this is a collection of his funny stories, I am all for this. I like the illustrations in it. This one is a winner. Oh golly, it's falling
apart.
It's falling apart. So this is not destined for the church library, but we can still read it at home and enjoy it if it doesn't fall apart in our hands. If it survives.
That's a big book. Okay.
Oh dear. Okay, well, no wonder they didn't want to deal with these books.
St. Teresa of Avila. It's a biography by William Thomas Walsh. It's a long biography.
It is a lot, but it has like picture plates in it, so that's cool. This could be fixed, this binding issue. An interesting find, but definitely it's on the DL, the disabled list. We have to fix it before we can decide its ultimate fate. Church History by Reimers. Don't know anything about this. Dedicated to Brother Leo of the Brothers of the Christian Schools. When I was in high school, the Christian Brothers taught us. It's got nice pictures. The Arian heresy right here.
A lovely picture there. The Arians.
But it's St. Basil celebrating Mass. Darn it, it's not a picture of the heretics themselves. All right, so this one has caught my eye. Candidates for Sainthood. It's an old book, and a lot of these people are already saints now. Edith Stein, Brother Andre, Matt Talbot, he's venerable now. Miguel Pro, I think he's a saint now, isn't he? Or he's at least blessed.
At least.
So this was published when? 1978.
That would explain that.
It's a good book of saint stories. But that begs the question, should we keep this in the church library if we have more up-to-date books about these saints with their proper titles? Let us know in the comments what you think.
And we have this book, St. Francis of Assisi.
Always popular.
Yeah, always good for a book, him.
Yeah, we have a lot about him in the library already and in our house already.
Yeah,
a
lot.
I think at last count we had over 20 books about him, mostly picture books, but
they're probably all up above us somewhere.
Yeah, well, you know, it's you can't have enough St. Francis.
By Thomas of Solano.
Oh, so yeah, that's a famous biography of St. Francis, but it looks like it has a little bit of a spine issue.
Spine's breaking.
Yeah, the spine's cracked. It lies super flat. Again, don't know if this one could stand up to life in the church library. All right, this one is a book about nuns. In Habit, a study of working nuns. For some reason, we seem to get a lot of nun books coming through our library. And nuns aren't around, very much like they used to be. All right, this is a very old one. Sorrow Built a Bridge. The life of Mother Alfonsa, daughter of Nathaniel Hawthorne. So if you don't know, Nathaniel Hawthorne's daughter, Rose Hawthorne, did become a nun. And so I guess this is her biography. I don't know very much about her whole life story, so I don't know if I'm going to learn it from this book because it's old and musty. But
falling apart there.
Yeah, maybe there's someone out there. I don't know. It's kind of cosmetic, and the inside it looks fine. So we'll see.
The life of Isaac Jogues.
Oh wow!
The spine is seen better days, but.
He was a very exciting saint of the New World.
It's old, but it's readable.
I want to say, was he your saint of the year one year? No, that was Jean de Brébeuf. But they were friends.
Also.
Yeah, with the Indians killed them.
Junipero Serra, just a biography of him.
I'm wondering if somebody just donated all their old saint biographies, because he's now Saint Junipero Serra of the California missions. But we're having a lot of these super old, like Damien the Leper, Junipero Serra, the Teresa of Avila. I wonder if someone had these in their personal library and just donated them. This is The Love of Mary, but this book isn't feeling the love. It's in 4-5 parts already. So sadly, it doesn't matter who might want to read it. It's not going in the library. It's probably, it's just going to the recycling bin. Well, that's an easy decision with that one.
The Story of Birthright, the alternative to abortion.
I want to read this one. We have a birthright in our area, in our town, that's very active and very thriving, helps a lot of women. and I don't know anything about the history of it. So let us know in the comments if you have a birthright center in your hometown, especially now that Roe versus Wade has been overturned. I think that the birthright centers are going to be a lot busier. Praise God.
St. Francis de Sales. Letters to Persons in Religion.
So are those written by Francis de Sales? Like he wrote letters to people?
I think so. It has this in the front, this letter.
Oh, in his own handwriting. I love it when they have that. That is so cool.
Let's see what this one is. Savage Papua, a missionary among cannibals, of all things.
Okay, so
All right.
cannibals, that's not a topic that comes up a lot. If you were a missionary among cannibals, would you not be in fear for your life the entire time? Not that just to get killed, but to get eaten.
Yeah, it's a story of a priest, 1930.
All right, so if he's not a saint, I hate to say this, but
Sorry.
did he get eaten? It's not is it an autobiography?
I don't think it's an autobiography.
Oh dear.
Unfortunately.
Okay, so
I guess it's his story.
Oh dear. I have to find out if he was the main course or.
Yes, there's pictures.
So that could be a really cool book. I bet the church library would like to keep that one. Another old one, A New Dawn in Japan. No clue what this one is about. Father Everett Francis Briggs is a native of Boston, and he has been in Japan since 1933. He was interned in 1942. Oh my gosh. In 1942, Father Briggs, from his internment camp, saw one of General Doolittle's planes fly over Japan. Wow. So he survived the war, and he became an associate professor of Japanese at Holy Cross College. I bet this is fascinating. I bet he has a lot to say. He saw history from his prison camp. Definitely think the church should keep this one.
Religion Behind the Iron Curtain.
Oh boy, wow. That could be a good book if you were researching that topic. I don't know if I would grab that one just to read on the beach, but...
The foreword starts, "This is not a pleasant book. There are murders in it."
Oh,
It was just the foreword.
okay, so I wouldn't grab that thinking it was a lighthearted read, but okay. Definitely this is full of interesting and unusual books for sure. And to go with that, religion in Soviet Russia, because if you're not having enough fun behind the Iron Curtain, when you finish that, you can go right into this one. A thoroughly documented report on conditions today in 1942. Did it by the Iron Curtain.
Saint Bernard on the Love of God. This one.
Oh, St. Bernard, you didn't dust your room.
Okay, Bernard. I guess, yeah, Bernard's
Okay.
just Bernard.
What's inside?
I'm shutting up.
Okay, yeah, Bernard, I'm sorry, but yeah.
We have a pamphlet thing, though.
Prayer to the Sacred Head of our Blessed Lord. That's a devotion I haven't run across before. The devotion to the Sacred Head.
It sounds weird.
It does sound a little bit.
Sorry.
Raise your hand if you are devoted to the Sacred Head. I mean, that makes sense, you know, the crown of thorns and, you know, the beautiful
Yes.
face of Jesus, but it just sounds
That sounds
weird. Yeah, the Sacred Head.
Sacred Head.
It sounds like it could be a Lenten hymn, the Sacred Head of Jesus. You never know what you'll find in these older books. Pius XI, I know zero about Pius XI. I don't think he's a saint or even up for sainthood. 1922 to 1939. Maybe I should read this book. Oh wow, it has a really cool holy card in it. I don't know if you can see that. We might put a picture on the screen. Vintage holy card. So again, this might be a book for the library to keep. It talks about the fascist challenge.
Delightful topic.
I know. This we could have a whole depressing book section with the
Soviets,
Russians, yeah,
Iron
the
Curtain,
fascists,
the
you know.
cannibals,
The
We can just go
cannibals,
to town
yeah.
today.
We just have we're like the feel good library here.
Spiritual Childhood, a study of Saint Teresa's teaching.
Oh, nice. Is that Therese of Lisieux or Saint Teresa of Avila?
Guessing Teresa of Avila.
I'm not sure. We have swallows living in our chimney, but we love them because they eat all the mosquitoes. We hear them all the time.
No, it's St. Therese.
I thought so. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting towards the end, and Letters to Mark About Jesus by Henry Nouwen. He writes a lot of books, but who is Mark? Mark is his 19-year-old nephew, a child reared amid post-war prosperity and secularism. Mark nonetheless senses a void in his life and in his aspirations. So Uncle Nouwen is going to help Mark discover God.
You say that.
Included are letters on Jesus as the heart of our existence. Oh, this could be really good. Kate says I'm reading this disrespectfully, but
No, you just make it funny the way you read it.
oh well.
Don't ask.
Here's Mark and Uncle Henry. Could be a good book. Probably a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of underlining in this book, though. But the sermons of Francis de Sales for Lent. I just read all his sermons for Lent this year. I can tell you, he was preaching to a bunch of nuns, and evidently the nuns were very naughty because he yelled at them a lot in his Lenten sermon. Okay, so this one has some water damage, but no mold, so that's good. But I'm guessing that we already have plenty of his Lenten sermons in the church library already. I don't know if we'll keep this one. All right, now we're down to just a couple of little paperbacks. Again, I think the volunteers probably just tossed these in here. Total Consecration, Louis de Montfort, and The Agony of Jesus by Padre Pio. So that could actually, oh my gosh, what in the world? A film.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Is this pictures of the Blessed Mother? Oh my goodness. Doesn't it look like the Blessed Mother?
Yeah, at least there are people in front of it. It looks like a statue.
So we will try to find out what we can about that. I don't know if we can put it on a light box.
Kodak film.
Oh, Kodak. When's the last time you have seen Kodak film?
We'll try to take a picture of this.
That's really
See if the camera
interesting. Okay, we're going to go research a couple of books. We'll be right back. Okay, so we just wanted to come back quickly and update you about a couple of the books. This one, Pontiff, was evidently a bestseller in the 1980s. It's about the year 1978 when there were 3 popes and 2 conclaves. And then it's also about the attempted assassination of John Paul II. Gets kind of mixed reviews on Amazon. Some people really love it, and some people say that its politics are outdated. I don't know. Maybe this is one that the church library will keep.
So I did look up John Gerard from the Autobiography of a Hunted Priest, and there's not much more to say than what I read earlier, but I did find out that he escaped from the Tower of London, which is very interesting.
That's a pretty good feat in those times.
Tortured and then escaped from the Tower of London. So
he's one to find out more about.
Yes.
We'll probably have to read that book.
Read the book and find out.
Letters to Mark actually gets really good reviews on Amazon, so if you have teenagers, it might be worth investigating.
And then the Missionary Among Cannibals. There is very, very little about him out there, but this is an autobiography, so he did survive. Thank goodness.
I'll petition for that one to stay in the library because it's most likely hard to track down. And if you ever wanted to read about a priest who lived with cannibals, where else are we going to go, right?
Did take a closer look at the piece of film, which we'll try to get some pictures of. It's not going to be easy. But I think these are from May 2nd, 2003, if what I found is a date, so they're quite old. And I want to say that these are from a Lourdes shrine, maybe the Lourdes shrine, I'm not sure. That's what it looks like. There is like the head of a statue kneeling in front of the Blessed Mother off to the side, so that's what makes me think that.
Could be Bernadette.
Yeah, and then I think one of the guys in the picture might be a priest, too. He has the right collar, so
it would be interesting to see if there's a phone app somewhere out there that lets you visualize old film more easily. We'll have to look into that.
I'm pretty sure there is. Well, actually, I think I've seen an ad for one of those somewhere.
So stay tuned for more information about that. Then this book about John the 23rd definitely a book of funny stories. I've been reading it and I'm just cracking up. Pope John XXIII was always known to poke fun of the way he looked. He said, I know I'm not handsome, but that's how it goes sometimes. So to the dismay of many of the personnel at the Vatican, in the early days of his pontificate, John XXIII displayed a most carefree sense of his own dignity. Once, seeing himself in a full-length mirror, he chuckled happily and said, "Oh Lord, this man is going to be a disaster on television." So I have a special place in my heart for this Pope. So even though it's falling apart, I will keep this book and read it. That is a look at our big box of books number 4, the kind of mystery rescue bin.
Lots of old books, tons of old books.
Yeah, lots of old books, but some real gems in there, I think.
Some interesting books from the Soviets.
We will have to find out more about the devotion to the head. So again, devotion to the sacred head, right?
The sacred head.
Yeah, you want to get that sacred in there because otherwise that could be really awkward. So,
all right.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching.
We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.